Oh, wrong thing. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Thriller here, and we are here for JJDL Season 4 Civil War Week 1. We're taking on, from the Magma Division, a very familiar face. And the only reason why I'm doing a team builder for. And that person is John Jr. of the Portland Night Shaders. Now, if you guys don't know, John is one of my absolute best friends. I've known him for like the last 8 years of Draft League. He was doing showdown leagues slightly before I was when he got into the scene, probably. Or we could have just started around the same time, but we just never met until we met into a league called All In No Quit. And that's where our friendship started. Then we had a little bit of a pause in our friendship as he was moving on with the Wi-Fi stuff, and I kind of wasn't. But we recently came back like a year or two late lap from last year's, and we've been able to talk, communicate, have some fun. And it's been awesome to battle John again. John is the only draft league player that I know of is the only main player I need left to beat because I have beaten people that have dominated me when I was first starting draft league, and John's that last person that was constantly beating me down. He is the only other person. He's the only person that I know that is undefeated against me, and I want that one win. Once I beat John, then I only have one thing left on my main bucket list before I retire in draft league, and eventually that's to win a Wi-Fi championship. Whether it's recorded or it's not, that's one of my big things. Now, would I retire after winning the Wi-Fi championship? There's no set in stone future to that, but I just know that there's the two main things left on my main list for my draft league career is to definitely beat John and to get a Wi-Fi championship. I would love to add facing some of the all-time best like PokeMMD and all these other coaches, but if I don't have the time to get stuff that I need, especially since I'm only using a laptop, I don't have a PC set up because I know PC usually having PC computers is a lot better, but it'll be time for that. Also, I'm rambling. This is not part of a team builder. We're here for team builder week 1. I think I'm actually gonna do team builders against my good friends or just some people that I have great acquaintances with. Just because I figured, every now and again, team builders would be really cool, and plus, you guys get to hear the history between me and a friend, and also get my main idea of what I am going with here. Because I'd rather have my thoughts and opinions about the matchup done now versus trying to do it before the battle, especially just for a convenient time, just in case if we're kind of in a rush and we had to just go straight into the battle. So with that being said, let's break down John's team. John has got the team of Terrapagos, Greninja, Latias, Lando T, King Gambit, Clefable, Tentacruel, Chestnut, and Muck. A little bit surprised to see John run a Chestnut. I've never seen John run Chestnut before. So, and a Muck. I feel like he was forced to grab a Muck, and he's never going to bring the Muck. Yeah, John's team, I actually feel like I have an insanely good matchup into John's team. Like, I am feeling super confident with my matchup. Now, that doesn't mean I'm gonna win. It means, if anything, I gotta play my team smart, build it smart, and have to go from there. The team I have drafted was Meowscarada, Annihilate, Scizor, Hisuian Arcanine, Thundurus, Therian, Clodsire, Latias, Tigaton, and Dondozo. We are both bringing the Lati twins, except this time around it's an actual twin. Based on the matchup, though, I knew ground types are going to be a big issue, but it is Landorus though, and knowing John, I don't think he wants to bring Scarf Landorus. Scarf Landorus doesn't make any sense, as it's going to give me a lot of opportunity to potentially bring things like my Thundurus Therian, my Latias, and just overall take advantage of any situation that he has. I do think John is either forced into like an offensive role with his Landorus, unless he really wants to value rocks with Landorus, unless he's going to run rocks with Fable, which I do think Clefable is going to be coming. The six that I am primarily expecting John to bring is going to be Terapagos, Greninja, King Gambit, Clefable, Tentacruel, and I believe either his Ladia, so Terapagos, Greninja, Landorus, King Gambit, Clefable, no, I guess I think, no, 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 I didn't say Landorus, I didn't say this. Terapagos, Greninja, King Gambit, Clef, Tentacruel, and excuse me, I think it's either Latias. I think it was Latias. Definitely Landorus could definitely come. But the problem with Landorus in this matchup is that Latias can just outspeed it and ice beam it. Tinkaton can be Sugarberry or just outspeeds it and delivers an ice hammer. Dondozo eats any hit and just avalanches it. Yaskara with triple axle, Annihilate to take care of the defiant boost you give me. It's really kind of hard to fit Landorus on this specific build against my team, but I am still slightly prepared for Landorus if it does come. Even if it does mean I had a wasted item slot on one of my Pokemon. Terapagos, I definitely think comes. I think John is semi-forced to run Rapid Spin unless he's feeling super confident they won't bring Clodsire, which definitely have this, which definitely has a chance of me not bringing Clodsire. The reason why I say it's a chance of not bringing Clodsire is just because Landorus can check me really good. Greninja's will stop her, like Latios checks me really good. Greninja's coverage checks me really good, especially if it's Protean, which I believe I am guessing it's Protean if I remember correctly, just because that can really check me. Clefable's store power is very annoying for my team to deal with. Excuse me. So that's also a thing. And then, so I feel like I was kind of not forced to bring it, but I feel like John has to be forcing himself to run it unless he's going to be running a lot of boots. I already know he's going to be running boots on Terrapagos because he wants to keep that turn one Terra Shell intact, which definitely would be the smarter play for him, especially in this matchup. His Greninja is definitely going to be coming in this matchup just simply the fact that Greninja is super annoying into my team. I don't know exactly what kind of coverage he's going to go with here. But he did force me on specific prep that I had to go with this matchup. I also do not know if he's going to be bringing Water Shuriken. Now, the reason why I assume Water Shuriken is I do have, you can just easily click Water Shuriken into something like you see in Arcanine, not have to risk a miss if he's got Salt or Surf or something like that. I do think Dark Pulse is there. Would not be surprised if John fits Spikes on this build. Spikes definitely look like a John Jr. type of play. Latios definitely has a possibility of coming, but I have things like Annihilate, which can take hits. I have Meowscarada, Scizor, Arcanine, and my own Latios, which actually can beat it, and Tinkaton that beats it. So I don't realistically know if he's going to bring Latios, so it's going to be really up in the air. Later too, we already made King Gambit. I do think King Gambit comes, even though I have a really good coverage basis for it, and I do have a fighting type in Annihilate. However, Sucker Punches for King Gambit, especially if John lets his team just get weakened down, Sucker Punch can pretty much just OHKO everything on my team besides Tinkaton. And again, if he's running speed to try to power creep me there with Tinkaton, then I kind of just lose. So there's that Clefable. I think John is forced to bring Unaware Clefable. I do not think he's ready Magic Guard. He has to bring Unaware in order to be able to stop potential setup that I do have on my team, which I do have semi, but there's gonna be something that you guys will know if you didn't know already that can get past Clefable's Unaware. Tentacruel, just a very annoying Pokemon, and I can definitely see John bringing it as a potential Toxic Spikes user or another potential Rapid Spinner for this game. Definitely expect a Flip Turn from John. Probably Flip Turn, Dual Stabs, and then either knock off Toxic, Toxic Spikes, yada yada yada. So basically, we have to play very carefully around that and just kind of go from there. Chestnut, don't think he brings Chestnut. I have too many good coverage for it, but I do expect Chestnut, if it does come, to be more so of a physically defensive variant. And then Muck, he's not bringing Muck. There's no reason for him to bring Muck. So let's kick off with the team that we have brought for this game. We got first Arcana for like Arcana Force for like the Yu-Gi-Oh series. I feel like Arcana, or you can go on Arcana. I like Arcana just how you said because it's the Arc as in Arcanine, but Kane like Dog. Excuse me. I'm a little under the weather lately, and I don't know why. But we have got Hisuian Arcanine, and you just saw John's team. What does he have for this? He has zero, zilch for this Pokemon. And we are taking a very risky build this week. I think we are taking enough speed to outspeed any bulky variants of his team. Anything that was base 100 below that is bulky, we do outspeed. We were at a max attack because I want to punch John's mons in the noses. This one has very little, if not no switches. Now, I am forced to run clearing with it because I am going to respect the Landorus Therian, even if it potentially does not come to this game. I am going to respect the Landorus and be able to run clearing it so he cannot lower my attack. Plus, it can if we get to catch this thing on a potential switch in on either a Flare Blitz or a Head Smash, he can't lower my attack, and I can either get an OHKO or I can chip something down really well. We are running Willowbus just in case, just to be able to kind of maybe try to break the Terra Shell on Terrapagos potentially, which would be really great because then we can just break that shell immediately and then just start punching it in the nose. But this thing is really strong. We have Wild Charge just kind of there for the Tentacruel, honestly. I didn't know what other move I really wanted. I was thinking of either Sub, Morning Sun, but I feel like Morning Sun just didn't fit in a lot of builds I liked. I kind of liked Sub, but again, Water Shuriken was a potential there as well. But I overall just felt like this moveset covers a lot of bases. Plus, I realistically don't want to hit Head Smash unless I need to hit it on a specific Pokemon. Otherwise, I want to just be spamming Flare Blitz in this matchup. So I think that was really important there. But yeah, this Arcanine is going to do so well. I'm really hoping we do well with Arcanine. It's definitely one of the Pokemon I've been wanting to try back again, and hopefully we do really well. Up next, we got John's boy Spanky, aka Spanked. It's got Spank John. And we are actually running a very unique Annihilate set. This is somewhat similar to what John would kind of build of a sort, but he would like to go adamant over careful. I like going careful in this matchup just because of the fact that we can take so many more hits with this set. This easily takes on Terapagos without any problem. This also helps take on the Latios to ascent as well. Unless it's Size Shock, then we're in trouble. But that's why we have the bulk ups for. We have sub bulk up because sub bulk up into John's team is super green. He has no great ghost immunity at all on his team. And with Drain Punch, we are going to do this is potentially and most likely going to be our win condition this game, and we have to position either carefully or we need to really break the majority of John's team with this so that way the stuff in our back can be able to do the work in this matchup. We are 92 attack, max max depth with the careful nature, and again enough speed. I believe we have the same speed set. Yes. Yep. Enough speed for things like no speed, Tentacruel, and below. I did not decide to speed creep anything else. So very excited for this Annihilate stuff. I am super pumped. This is the one time I've actually just ran like full out investment. But the thing is, I've battled John for so many years. I know exactly how he plays. Like if you guys remember the last time we faced off, I knew exactly John's Tinglu set. I pretty much knew exactly John's Cinderace set. I just knew how John was going to play his game. Obviously, when it comes to the turns, it's a 50-50. And to be honest, John got lucky last time. He got lucky because of fraud loaded dice. If I got the 5 hits there, I won that game. But Annihilate here, I'm really excited for Annihilate, and I think it's going to do really well for us. And hopefully bring Team Plasma a victory here. And also breaking the fourth wall, I believe Team Plasma has only won one game so far of all of the games we have played so far. So we really need to get on the board here. Up next, we got Code Red, my Scizor. We are running a kind of a bulky offensive set this week. I believe we are outspeeding either Landorus and below or something else below it, or just outspeeding. Oh no, I think we're outspeeding Adamant King Gambit. I think that's what the speed set was for. Max HP 108 in attack, Adamant 8 in defense, and 140 speed. I decided to run speed for like I think either a Jolly or an Adamant King Gambit, just because you never know that John could definitely run that speed trying to catch me off guard if I don't run any speed on Scizor. But we have Defog plus Combat, Bullet Punch, and Bug Bite. We have Rocking with the Aqua Berry, so we can take one Fire type move from the Clefable and hopefully be able to two-shot that. Now, originally, I had Swords Dance on this build, but I felt like Swords Dance, as much as it was really, really good on this build, I felt like I needed Defog because I know how John plays. He's going to look at my team and he wants to immediately start spike stacking, T spike stacking, and also potentially getting his rocks up. I need to keep hazards off the field as much as possible or try to minimize the amount of times hazards can be up. So I do have to be careful around how I build this and how I use this. Huckleberry also helps take a flamethrower from the Galapagos, which definitely has those possibilities of showing up. I would not be surprised. I would see John's move be Terra Starstorm, Dazzling Gleam, Flamethrower, and then either Rapid Spin, Rock Polish, or Calm Mind. Or if he wanted to be Meteor Beam to get an immediate +1 speed boost, potentially. But overall, I think Scizor is very important in this matchup, and I think Scizor could do a lot of work, especially if we get that Terra Shell broken and we keep our Alkaberry. Close combat should pretty much always either kill the Terapagos or put it in range of Bullet Punch. And a Bullet Punch priority is very hard to resist it on this team. Close combat is primarily there for the King Gambit. I was thinking about Brick Break, but I felt like I want to hit strong. It would be hard and just go from there. Up next, we have Sneaky My Meowscarada. Now, unfortunately, I am forced to run max speed on my Meowscarada this week just because it needs to outspeed the Greninja. Unfortunately. Now, we have Low Kick, which guaranteed always knocks out a King Gambit no matter what. Thunder Punch, which is primarily there for the Tentacruel, so that way I do not have to be locked into Flower Trick potentially. Now, Thunder Punch also is kind of niche, doesn't really have a big important role here. I think it's obviously mitigated by the fact that I have Flower Trick. But I like having the super effective coverage, plus be able the ability to change my type. I think really puts me in a position where I can now take a little bit more hits from some stuff, but also more importantly, I'm actually able to get a boost on slightly, not exactly boosted, but basically now a stab on my attack, which is really good. Otherwise, I'm most likely going to be clicking Flower Trick and Triple Axle mostly in this game. As grass plus ice is literally super hard for John to even try to counter at all. His only counter is a King Gambit to it, pretty much, and that is where low kick comes into play. So really excited for Meowscar. We actually are rocking out the Miracle Seed to get as much damage off on that Flower Trick as possible. I did think about something else besides Protean in this build, but I felt like Protean really helped me in a lot of matchups situations. And I just really think Meowscar does really well. So I'm really hoping Meowscar is going to prove the worth of the first overall pick that we had and put in a ton of work this season. Up next, we have mods because this is the mods secretly, all banged together into one Pokemon with a giant ass hammer. We have knockoff, play off, kick and hammer, and brick break. I have brick break on there for two reasons. One, it helps get rid of potential screens, and more importantly, it helps deal with the King Gambit. Now, unfortunately, a potentially bulky King Gambit actually can live in adamant brick break, but it would be a roll, I think, in my favor or like a 50-50 chance to kill. Plus, if John brings it, I feel like John is forced into Chopple. I don't think he brings any other item on King Gambit that is not Chop. Otherwise, we have knockoff there, just remove items. It's also really good to just also weaken down the Latias to an extent. Player up is just a good general stabbing in this matchup. He gets on hammer because we gotta give you the ban hammer. 116 HP, max attack adamant, 8 in the defense, and a 132 speed. Again, that's outspeeding the tentacle and below. You see that I am definitely trying to make sure I get the speed here from his bulk because I feel like John, if I know how he likes to build, he's not going to really run speed on his bulkier stuff. Like Tentacruel, in my opinion, fits way better in having good HP, good defense and depth, and maybe having some good offense, and maybe a little bit of speed to outspeed some stuff. Like if he does have speed on his integral, that's good information to know because that lets me know that my Annihilate can kind of be my sneaky is slightly be more important, or my Dondozo might be a little more important in checking it. But definitely gonna come down to that. But otherwise, Ticketon does actually really good offensively into John's team. John has a very hard time switching into this Pokemon, which is really great. And just overall, it's going to be a really good mod into him. And last but not least, we have Buffet here, the Don Dozo. Now, I was thinking about Thunderous Therian, but with having Lando T there and knowing that Lando T could potentially come, it's hard to play around Lando T. Plus, I really didn't know what kind of set I really wanted to go with Thunderous in this matchup. It was really, really hard to find the right Thundy set, so I ended up just not going with it. Didn't bring Clodsire just because again Clodsire gets overwhelmed by some of John's offense and just the coverage, and I just felt like it was too tough to bring. Um, and then Latias, I was so close. This was I think originally going to be Latias, but the problem became then I didn't know what set to bring because I wanted to bring something like a Calm Mind weakness policy, store power set. I wanted to bring Reflect type with Calm Mind and weakness policy potentially, or just Reflect with Calm Mind in general store power. But then I had no recovery options on any of the builds I would have had, and it would have just had to try to break and just do its best. And just, I felt like it was just, I mean, I could be Culver, but the Culver can get broken in so many ways. And then there's Moonblast from Latias. I just really had a hard time trying to fit Latios in there. I really wanted to bring it because one, I think that'd be funny to have Latios versus Latios, Latios versus Latios. But I just felt like John's team it countered my Latios just a little bit better. So I ended up going with Don Dozo, and I decided to take a bit of a risk here. Now the main reason I say it's a risk is because this is not probably going to be the greatest Don Dozo set, but it's a Don Dozo set that I'm feeling slightly confident with, and I think can really work. We are running Assault Vest Dondozo with Heavy Slam, Avalanche, Body Press, and Earthquake. Now, if you ask yourself this, what kind of stupid man doesn't bring Stab on his Pokemon? Well, if you really look at John's team, I don't really need Stab. I think Stab is very irrelevant. The only makes sense to bring Stab for things like maybe the Landers and when the Greninja is not Protean. I mean, when the Greninja is Protean and it changes out its typing. But Heavy Slam, Avalanche, Body Press, and Earthquake check every single box off of John's team. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It just beats the majority of John's team with this type of set, which is crazy. It's honestly crazy. But Heavy Slam helps check what's it? The Clefable, it'd be able to two shine unless it's cosmic power. Avalanche lets me take one hit and Oko the Elandris, and also gives me good damage off of things like Latios as well. Body Press is really good against most of John's team, and then Earthquake is strictly there for the Tentacruel, so I can be able to 1v1 the Tentacruel. So I'm very excited for this Dozo set. I think Dozo is going to be really good. I am running Unaware this week just because I feel like Unaware was primarily important in this matchup, just to make sure we had some way to make sure John couldn't set up for free in front of me, and this can also take on most of his special wall breakers that want to try to set up as well. So if he store power though on his Latias, this could be bad for us. This really could be bad for us, but hopefully it doesn't bite us. We're at 116 HP, 20 into attack, max defense, and 120 speed depth. Again, I didn't run a lot of speed depth in this matchup because I really wanted max damage from body press, but we should be bulky enough to be able to take on most, if not any, hits from the special offensive side. But with that being said, that's gonna be the team builder, guys. The arc of this team builder got a little bit too long, but I figured I'd do some really cool team builders for some of the battles I'm gonna have this season. Not to say that every battle is not going to be highlighted, but if you guys are also wanting to see team builders, I don't mind doing team builders for JJDL Season 4 and just seeing how they do. If they do great, I'll do more of them. If they don't do great, then I won't really do them anymore. I just only wanted to do a few of them this season because I'm facing John, Star, and Obo this season. Obo also is a player that I am very much friends with since with John for the last 8 years, and Obo has never beaten me once. And I will sadly say he has actually a good chance to beat me this time. And then I'm taking on Star for the very first time. Star and I, we don't really like friends and stuff as much, but we're good acquaintances. We're good pals. We kind of chit chat in chats and comment sections every now and again. And so I consider Star like a good friend. And I'm really excited to play Star. I've never played Star once, and Star has never played me. So this should be a really exciting game, even though Star got a really good matchup into my team. But I'm really excited to play Star for this season. Obviously, there's a bunch of other coaches I'm also excited to face. Like I believe I'm taking on Lego this season. I'm also taking on Mountain Man, who I never once played in JJDL. So I'm very excited for that. And just a whole bunch of other cool matchups coming your way, guys. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want to see team builders for the whole season, or if you guys don't think team builders are really necessary. I only want to do team builders for John, Star, and Obo just because I'd rather have the full context of the team sent out that way for the matchup and just not stress about it. For everyone else, I would be willing to just do on the team builder site and then go right into battles. But if you guys want to see team builders for the entirety of the season, and just so I can test the waters and see how well team builders do in terms of views, then let's go with that. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for when we take on John in week 1. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.